Pause. This game, I don't think I've ever played a review before. Looks very interesting. Hey guys, it's me, Jameson again, back with some more interesting Roblox games. Let's just get into it. 1. Bendy and the Ink Machine, yes, that's this game's name, is one of the first OG games that I've ever played. Basically, you just shoot each other with weapons. You start off with a rocket launcher and a thing, and then you can get other weapons like Kirby Stomp thingy, whatever. Or pipe bombs, or milk. That really hurts. Yeah, there's nothing much to this game other than just, here's some fun. Just battle. You can get many items and just battle, like it doesn't really matter. You can just do whatever you want. And that's what makes this game really fun. Anyways, another thing you can do is you can do this. Yes, I know. It's very sus. I did this in the intro, by the way, as well. And also, you can get the power of Jesus on your hands. Not sure if that's something I'd be proud of, but you can do it. Also, you can make it powerful like this. And make it on fire. And then make it even... Okay. And then make it even bigger and on even more fire. And then I yet still got, that's bad. But alas, there's also Bendy monsters. I mean, it wouldn't be called Bendy in the Ink Machine if it weren't for the fact that there was this. I'm Luke Skywalker. Deal with it. Also, you can rob people. Isn't this a fun game when you can rob people? It's very fun. But alas, you can also dance. If you don't remember, this was from the intro as well. Yes. It's a really good fun day, ain't it? Me just having fun, dancing and playing. And while it's an old game, it's still heavily lifts up today. It's an 8 out of 10. Wow, it'd be pretty bad if I got killed by a character in the next game. I'm okay. Knockout is one of those games that just likes to copy the performity or whatever of another game. Basically, it's simple. There's a mode, a battle, and then sometimes a little different thing, like a modifier, I think. But over time, it has evolved, because beforehand, there was barely anything new to talk about. There was like 2 modes and 2 maps. Well, that's a lie. There's a few of them. But now there's modes like points mode and that other mode. It's just a lot. Like, I honestly wish that we just got like it going back to classic, because might add, this is a copy of another game. So I don't know, it just feels pretty copyable. Anyways, aside from that, this game is basically simple. Basically, you just take turns attacking each other by using these arrows to determine where you're going to be going next. And the plot is very interesting, I'll say the least. But nothing that I would like overly say is good. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Huh? Obby about their chasing you is like putting a twist on another game. It's very fun. Basically, there's 4 difficulties. Bunny Knife, which has a final cinematic. Bee Spider, which is the medium. I hate that. Lolo and Pachi, which is just Tom and Jerry. And then, yeah, it's just Tom and Jerry. And then Cat and Mandos. Cat in the Hat's evil twin brother. So anyways, moving on from that, there's Little Dog Man. He doesn't do anything. And then after that, there's the finish line. Wow, we're done already? Nope. Now it's time to run. Yeah, there's nothing new for every single difficulty. It's literally the same thing every single time. So, yeah, honestly, pretty fun. Although I hope in the next update they add some new skins and enemies or whatnot. By the way, this is what I'd look like if I was in the game. Yes, I know, you're peeing your pants. Don't be embarrassed about it. Anyways, aside from that, this game has a very good thing that lets people be able to repetitively play it. It's nothing that will make it too repetitive. You could probably play this 4 times in total currently, but there are only being 4 difficulties, so 4 times playability. After that, it just kind of gets old and soggy. But aside from that, pretty fun. And I will say how there is a lot of other deaths, like there's some sounds for the death, like here's me dying, like in the intro, but a lot worse, obviously. So yeah, it's nothing that I would say is sucking. So I'm gonna give it 5 out of gun. What? Beep 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 beep. Oh no, that's what it said. Animal Hospital is a friend slop game where basically you and a bunch of friends can explore or play a game. Now, before we continue in reviewing, let's look at the items. Eye drops, IV drops, medkit, thermo, ointment, bandages, cough syrup, medicine, herbs, and last but not least, maple syrup. One of these are very obviously the oddball. Like, who in their minds thought that maple syrup was an item that was used in a hospital? Like, I've never heard someone at the doctor say, okay, we need some maple syrup in here. Like, bro, you ain't making no sense. But basically, here's how it works. You check people in, make sure they're not anomalies by using the cameras, checking their photos, looking at the whole shebang, and then let them in. And then you start the surgery, and yada, yada, yada. So yeah, basic premise and plot, so I honestly think it's a pretty fun game. Although, it eventually gets so hard that eventually it would literally be impossible. Yet the people on the leaderboard make me think otherwise. I'm not really sure. You use coffee to gain your sanity up, and chocolate, I guess, and other stuff. But mainly that's coffee. There was a new update which added some new items and stuff, a new secret character. But I'm about to show you what I think is the most disgusting, creepiest character that got changed of all. Dr. Harlow. Brother, okay, but in all honesty, this guy looks like a chud. Like, his original model was so better. Like, let me show you what his original model looked like. I also wish we could shut him off. Okay, maybe that's not entirely true, but it's what I wish it would have at least changed to look like instead of that ugly thing. They did my boy terribly nasty. But also, on the first night, a little tip is to always equip herbs and the eye drops, because that's the first 2 things that they're all going to want. Also, if there's ever an anomaly, like they're twitching or whatnot, just close the shutters. It's as simple. But after shift 3, you can just tase them. Zap, zap, zappity, zap, zap, zap. But yes, this game is somewhat of a repetitive loop. You can play a ton of times and try a bunch of different strategies to win, but in the end, you're gonna lose eventually. I'd like to think that there would be multiple endings, which would honestly be something that I would like to see, because then you can get many endings, and it's honestly probably one of the things that I would like to see in the future. And so now, time for the characters review. We got intern, nurse, secretary, paramedic, psychologist, doctor, security, head nurse, and surgeon. Oh, and the secret agent. They did get a lot of remodels except for the intern. He was the only guy who just was so chill that they didn't need to remodel him. And yet they remodeled everyone else. And if anything, remodel the intern. That face was not right. They ruined the Ron from the secretary thing. The paramedic is just, nothing much. The psychologist, what's even the difference here? Black mustache instead of brown. Security, I just like the new design. It makes him look like a bat. Not that fun. The head nurse also got a similar treatment with the maid stuff. And it's also just a little bit not paler or darker. And then this is what they did to the secret agent. It was perfect how it was before. You didn't have to ruin it. And then we got my boy Matthew. Perfecto. But alas, let's go on to the final game before my sanity turns to nothing. 7 out of a monolith syrup. Hey. Hey. What am I even doing here? 5. Dandy's World is another friend slap game. What is friend slap? Go rewatch the Animal Hospital segment. Basically, instead of 4 people, you can get double that. Oh my god! But yes, there's 100 characters, like, I can only count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take Grandpa and hit him on the floor. Alas, the game is simple. On floor 1, you start off with 2 entities, as like I call them, but they're twisteds. And then you have to finish 4 machines. Why is it so little? Because later on it turns to 25. Like, that's probably not even a joke. Eventually it gets to so many that it's just impossible, basically. And also there's a thing called distractor, item stealer, and just basic. Distractors distract the entities, or whatever they're called. I forgot. I don't even like to care. And then the stealers just like to grab every item in sight and waste it like 5 seconds. That's probably me, but then again, I also do the machines. And then the basic person, he does the machines, which is what I do. I'm probably like a mixture of 2 of them, because I am not the one to distract, so don't trust me with anything like distracting. Alas, it's a fun game, and it has a lot of repetitiveness. Well, not like that, but like, you can play it multiple times and get completely different runs. One time you'll start off with a pretty easy run, and another time you'll get the hardest thing ever. Next up, the tunes. I have 15, so that's a lot to say. And then there's the shop, with a lot of other tunes that I don't got, like Caterpillar Man and Cup of Tea. Like, there are so many things in this game, like, and there's like so many seasonals, which is like half of my roster. Also, a lot of these guys like to do the thing of everything be free. Everything be free. Which is like almost all of the first seasonals for all these. And then the box and the bubble man. But then there's the rest, which are just unique. There's also skins. Who asked for this? Maybe someone else. But alas, there's also a starter bundle. Get in the bin. And then there's those holiday shops. Trust me, when it's holidays, that's a shop. You can trust me, because I am very trustworthy. And honestly, I'm gonna give this a 5 1 flower out of lore. Well, that was certainly interesting. Like, yeah, get it? Because it's interesting Roblox games, you get it. Bye, guys!